Well, good evening, everyone. Tonight is probably my favorite of all time topics to talk about when it comes to this amazing product line. I think it is absolutely foundational for any health protocol, and you can probably already feel my energy. We are celebrating 4 years, actually on Earth Day, but timing this call would be better, or today would be better. But anyway, 4 years ago, the April 22nd of 2022, Heart and Body Naturals brought this amazing product to their already stellar product line. And tonight I'm going to teach you why this is my heart product. But I'm going to first start out by putting on an essential oil from our sister company called Stop Self Sabotage. And when I was thinking about what scents to put on, because I always put one on before I teach a class, and I did Stop Self Sabotage because your health is your wealth, as you've heard many, many times. And when you don't take your health as a priority, you're doing self sabotage. So tonight, I hope that this one product opens up your mind so that your health journey becomes a priority, because we talk terrain health around here. And I did not put an intro screen in. So anyway, I'm Tina Hewerman. I am a wife of 33 years, a mom. I've got 3 kids. One lives in heaven. I've got 2 grandchildren that call me Grandma Rockstar. I'm an author, a speaker, and a coach, and I'm all about the root cause of finding out why these symptoms show up in our body and what we can do to make our bodies a healthy environment. And tonight, we're going to talk about my favorite product, fulvic acid, from the earth to your cell. And this is where the cellular terrain health starts. So tonight we're celebrating, as I said, 4 years ago today, or the 22nd, my team, a group of amazing women, a couple of them you'll be able to meet tonight, were without a home to help our friends and family. And we found this company because of my friend and sponsor, Chelsea. She'd been a customer for well over 2 years and offered this product line. And we were like, yes, that's great. But we had come from a fulvic acid company that had collapsed. And we had to have fulvic acid in our product line. Like, we know foundationally that fulvic is the #1 product that absolutely everybody needs to be on and taking daily. Well, this company didn't have it. And so Chelsea went to her upline and talked to them, her success coaches, and talked to them. They talked to Paula, our CEO. And after some talk back and forth, there were no deals or anything like that. We just wanted to find a home, and we wanted to have fulvic with us. And so HBN launched fulvic acid on April 22nd. So we're going to cover what is fulvic, why quality is life or death. The testing fraud is going to be exposed tonight, and what actually it does in your body, and then 4 years of health and good stories. So let's start at the beginning. And I don't know if you can see my picture, but I'm going to stop share for just a quick second right here. And I'm going to show you, I keep my fulvic in a little spice jar. So it's easy. And this is all you do. I love the powder because the powder can do so much more than the liquid. You can bathe in it. You can do foot soaks. You can make face masks. Fulvic acid absolutely loves water. And so as you see it doing its magic little dance in the glass right there, this is going to provide my body with so many nutrients. And I'm so glad I have this, because I forgot to bring my tumbler in here with water. So I will have my electrolytes. So fulvic, it's not a synthetic supplement. A lot of the supplements on the market are made in a factory. They have fillers and different ingredients in them that make it so that your body, there's extra things in there that your body has to process that it doesn't want to process: chemicals, heavy metals, things like that, sometimes lead and other things. So this is a natural compound that comes from a decomposed plant bug that's of prehistoric origins. And so think of a compost pile, right? And so if you want really good vegetables to come from your garden, you're going to use a lot of decomposed plant matter for compost around that, so that you have all those nutrients. So, and it's oxygen rich and mineral dense soil. So the result is one of the most complex bioactive substances in nature, a molecule so small that it can pass directly through the cell membrane, even the blood-brain barrier, carrying minerals, nutrients, and different compounds with it. So think of it as Earth's original delivery system. Before industrial farming stripped our soils of mineral content, every plant that you and I ate, that our ancestors ate, was covered in fulvic, a mineral-rich, dense soil. But we don't get that anymore. And that's why we have to supplement for it. So the molecular weight of fulvic acid is smaller. Okay, blood-brain barrier, I just said that. I get off track if I don't follow my notes, if you will. And tonight I'm really excited, so that might happen a lot. So it all starts, like I said, I teach on this all the time. Terrain health is everything. And if you have a healthy terrain, then you are going to have a healthy body, a body that is able to fight off different attacks that it gets at the cellular level. So conventional medicine, it just chases them around the playground. The terrain theory asks a different question. So why is the body struggling to begin with? And the answer is almost always circles back to a mineral deficiency. In fact, a 2-time Nobel Peace Prize winner once stated that you can trace every single disease to a lack of minerals, and fulvic acid is that source for you. And so then you've got your toxic overload, which is why I love our detox protocols that we get to do together, and so grateful for those of you that are doing the liver cleanse next week. And then a compromised cellular, there we go, got to mute one, cellular environment. So your cells cannot detox, regenerate healthy, or communicate without the right mineral cofactors. These are the spark plugs for all the communication that takes place in your body. So fulvic is going to address all three simultaneously. It's going to deliver those minerals to the cell. It's going to be the garbage truck, and it's going to clean out all the garbage in the cells. And then it's going to pump it full of oxygen and nutrients and minerals right into the cell so that it can recreate this healthy environment and duplicate itself. And so then it creates this electromechanical environment, and it supports all of those enzyme processes that your body runs on naturally. It's a powerful antioxidant, absolutely huge. It promotes hydration at the cellular level. It maintains the electrolyte balance, so your body stays in a balanced environment. Diseases love an acidic environment, so fulvic is huge for that. It's going to increase nutrient absorption by, I think I always get it mixed up, 45 or 65. I believe it's 45. Increase nutrient it is 65. Increase nutrient absorption by 65 times its molecular weight. Regulate the immune system response, so your immune system isn't being overactive. It's going to support a healthy gut microbiome, which then what's that going to do to your brain, right? You've got the gut-brain connection there. And then it optimizes mitochondrial function. And that's very, very important for digestion, weight loss, mood, the way your body functions. It's going to boost that energy level. And then it's going to help support that detoxification by carrying the garbage out of the cells at 65 times its weight. So here is part of the problem when you see fulvic acid on the market. There is a difference. There is a fertilizer grade, which that's not stamped on the package, but when you look at the COA, the certificate of authenticity, you're going to see that. You're going to see high heavy metal contents, and it's just not going to be a pure product. In fact, I looked at a Fulvic the other day, and it had 12 different ingredients in it that really didn't even make any sense the way they were combined. That's why I'm so grateful for our formulator, Alexandria. So these are manufactured basically for agriculture or plant use, but it's really not specified. It's just manufactured. A lot of people will garden with it. It's great for your plants. Not tested for human safety thresholds. We've done that, made to contain heavy metal contaminants beyond what the earth naturally contains. So there are going to be some organic metals in there that you might be like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to have that. That's poisonous. No, that's from an organic source, and it's in a bioavailable source. So your body's not going to hold on to it and store it in the fat cells like it would an actual synthetic heavy metal. So often misleadingly labeled safe for consumers, and there's no standardized testing, and the numbers are inflated. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But here Paula, in true Paula fashion, we made sure that it is manufactured for human consumption. It is tested for heavy metals, microbials, and purity. It meets food grade safety standards. Food grade, that's huge. It's HPTA test method certified. Like that's way and above USDA organic. Like that's an intense testing that this Fulvic goes through. And it's 66% bioavailable, meaning you're going to get 60% of all the product has 66%, and your body's going to use all of that. So here is the testing fraud that nobody talks about, but I'm going to, because I want to make sure that you are not self-sabotaging your health unknowingly. So not all testing methods are equal when it's put through that rigorous test to test for those heavy metals and such. And some are designed to make inferior products look good. So there's one called the V&B method, and that is the inflated standard. So instead of just measuring the fulvic content of the product, they're going to measure all of it, the ash, the filler, the carbohydrates, the proteins, not just the bioavailable fulvic. And a product with 20% actual fulvic acid can claim 50 to 70% on paper. So you have to make sure that testing method is in place. And then you have the Lamar and the AOC, and that measures only ash-free. It's truly bioavailable. And it's used by universities, regulatory agencies, and serious formulators, which of course we are. And then it is approved by the Association of Official Agriculture Chemists. Numbers are lower in fulvic content, but it's true fulvic content. Okay, it's not those fillers in the ash and the other things that is in there. And then you have the ISO, which is where we're at. It's the International Organization for Standardization Protocol. And this is rigorous, it's reproducible, and it's internationally recognized. And when combined with that Lamar method, which we also use under the HPTA certification, that is the highest level of third-party testing that is available. So you can guarantee that you're not getting junk when it comes to fulvic. And GMP, it's also GMP certified, and that is not just a certification on the label. It's a system that ensures that what's inside the product actually matches what it says on the outside of the bag. And that's one of the things, like when I educate on CBD, let me say it that way. That's a big thing. You've got to have that COA, especially if it's an imported from China harvest. So here's how to read a COA, because when you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, okay, all these numbers, I don't know what they mean. This is kind of confusing. So you're going to look for the ISO 19822 or the Lamar, and these measure the actual bioavailable fulvic acid. And if the method is not listed, ask why. Okay. You're going to have your fulvic acid percentages, and this result should be verified using that standardized testing where you're only measuring the actual fulvic content. You're going to want to look at that heavy metal panel and the microbial content, salmonella, staph, yeast, mold, that should all be tested and listed. This is Food Safety 101, right? And then that food grade designation. But number 6 is the one I really want you to pay attention to. So the results on those tests, and this may be above or more information than you wanted, but this is the kind of stuff that I kind of geek out on. So I really appreciate you being here and just letting me just speak, because this is fun. I don't know if it's fun for you, but it's fun for me. Let me know in the comments. Are you having fun yet? So this is it has to be tested in the parts per million, not parts per billion. So parts per billion means that the amount is so small, it's barely detectable. So if it says there is 66% PB parts per billion fulvic acid. That's barely anything in there because it's testing so many, such a mass that billion. And so you're essentially paying for expensive water. So here is what fulvic actually.
You're muted.
I wonder how that happened. That's weird. How long was I muted?
And right after you turn this page.
Oh, okay, very good. Thank you for letting me know. So here's what fulvic actually does in the body. And this is the part that really got me excited. I bought it because I saw somebody do a foot soak with it and they were having parasites come out of the bottom of their feet. And I was like, I don't have parasites. No, nobody has parasites. That's a third world problem. Like I was one of those people. And then I started doing research. And for those of you that don't know, I lost my mom. I spent 7 beautiful weeks in hospice walking her to heaven. And I made her a promise that I would save another daughter from having to lose their mother to a disease that could have been prevented. Okay. So I started looking at Fulvic and I was like, holy smokes, this is it. This is that product. I'm going to fulfill that promise. And so it has selective chelation. And what that means, it's going to bind to those heavy metals in toxins for safe removal without stripping the beneficial minerals. A lot of products on the market, when you have a binder, it's going to, there's some ingredients in there that can end up stripping other beneficial minerals and bacteria and stuff in your body, which is why with our parasite cleanse, we always come back in and restore that. A lot of them don't. So that's I've got another call on that if you haven't seen that call. So it's got selective chelation. It's only going to take out the bad garbage. And then it has that mitochondrial support. And so that's going to enhance the electron transport chain function. That's going to support cellular energy production. And then mitochondrial dysfunction underlies most of the chronic diseases. And so once you repair that gut, the gut actually has 12 different axes. It's not just the gut brain. Like there's so many things that are tied to gut health that are equally important as the gut brain connection. And when you get that mitochondria back in balance and functioning and firing off those electrons, then you're going to have a healthier body and you're going to have more energy. You're going to have a brighter mind because you're going to feel like doing more. Then it's going to come in that remineralization that I just talked about. So it's going to chelate, it's going to take those heavy metals off, but then it's going to come back in and there's over 70 plus trace minerals in that 76, I think it is, in the fulvic acid. We don't get that from our food anymore. We don't get that from our vegetables. Everything is sterilized and chemically filled. And so this is why fulvic is such a key component. You get your mitochondria, you get your minerals, you get that toxins out. I mean, think about how good that would feel. And then that blood-brain barrier crossing, like that's a big one. I mean, my mother-in-law, I'm dealing with stage 6B dementia right now. And it's almost a daily thing now where she'll have an outburst, but they are only taking what their doctor prescribes, which breaks my heart. Because I know that if I couldn't reverse it, I don't know, but I could at least make it easier for her. And so it is going to cross that blood-brain barrier, and that's going to support that neurological health and reducing that inflammation, that nerve inflammation, so in the brain. So that's going to be huge. And then the NFKB pathway. Now that's something that's probably way above a lot of people, which is fine. But now you've heard of it and you're going to know the importance of it. Published research shows that fulvic acid suppresses that signaling pathway, which is the primary trigger for chronic inflammation and cytokine storms. Okay. It helps that pathway. Okay. Huge. And then the gut microbiome. And it acts as a prebiotic substrate for beneficial microorganisms, but it's also a postbiotic as well. And so this kind of ties into the GLP-1 that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks. So we're going to start in May, that together after our liver cleanse. And so that supports that gut environment that drives the immune function and the GLP production. Jessica, I don't know how you keep getting unmuted. There you go. All right. And then, so let's talk about these individually just a little bit. So fulvic acid and inflammation. This is the root of chronic disease. Fulvic acid comes in and creates that environment, gets rid of that inflammation. So chronic inflammation is behind the heart disease. It's behind the diabetes, the Alzheimer's, the autoimmune disorders, and even cancer. And so your body has a molecular switch that keeps inflammation turned on, and that's that NFKB. Okay. Inflammation is going to stay high when that switch stays on. And when that gets activated, it sends out three key chemical messengers. The TNF alpha signals your immune system to trigger the inflammation. The IL-6 amplifies the response and keeps it going. And the IL-1 beta activates the initial alarm. And together they tell your body, there's a fire burning inside of me. We have to go put it out. And research has shown that fulvic acid turns that switch off, stopping that cascade of inflammation chemicals at the source. And so this is not marketing language. This is a published peer-reviewed source. Is that not exciting? Like, I'm so excited about that. So the NFK inhibition that we just talked about, that the T alpha reduction. So fulvic acid has been shown to reduce the TNF alpha, and that's that inflammatory alarm signal, never shuts off. Then it has antioxidant defense. Fulvic acid enhances glutathione. Who's heard of glutathione? Glutathione is the master antioxidant in the body, and you'll see some people talking about that and buying that as a supplement, but we're not going to put anything in our body that our body can't make its own, right? Because what does that do? So if you're taking a laxative every single day, your body's going to forget how to poop. And so if you're taking something like glutathione or a GLP shot, you're forcing your body to react a certain way that it's not prepared for. And so fulvic acid enhances that glutathione production, which is anti-aging, anti-inflammatory. So you got fulvic fighting it. You've got your glutathione coming into battle. And then you have the cancer and tumor cell research, which is what I love to look at on PubMed at 5:30 in the morning, like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. I'm on PubMed looking at fulvic acid and cancer research and latest research and things, because that's part of my plan. So it has been shown to inhibit tumor cell proliferation and induce apoptosis. We talked about that last week. That's where the cell dies. So this process is where your body identifies and destroys those damaged or abnormal cells before they can multiply. And so fulvic acid has come in and been proven through test to be able to do that. Let me pause. I am not making medical claims. I am not a doctor. It is up to you to research the information that I'm giving you. This is for educational purposes only. I'm not here to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent anything that is being talked about tonight. So I just wanted to throw that in there because this is going on YouTube and hopefully shared with others so that people can see the importance of this fabulous molecular enhancement. So let's get into the cognitive health side of this, right? This is the neurological terrain. So blood-brain crossing, we already talked about that. The tau protein and Alzheimer's. This is where it touches my heart and makes me feel helpless. So preliminary research suggests that fulvic acid may inhibit the aggressive of the tau protein, and that's that protein that tangles associated with the Alzheimer's disease. So it's preclinical, but keep an eye out for that, but that's very exciting. And then the neuroinflammation, okay? Somebody said Parkinson's, neuroinflammation. So through the same NFK8 pathway, fulvic may reduce the neuroinflammation, which research increasingly identifies as central to cognitive decline. Okay, very, very important. This is, I mean, who is not taking fulvic acid every day yet? Let's give you some love and say, come on, you got this. Let me know in the let me know in the comments. So then we have the mitochondrial support in the neurons. So this is where the brain cells have the highest mitochondrial demand. Remember, electricity in the gut, right? So we got it up there too. And fulvic acid support of the electron transport. So here comes the train with all the electrons. It directly supports the neuronal energy production. So you've got more energy within that nervous system. And I think one of our most popular Detox Diva calls has been the GLP. So let's bring it back real quick, shall we? So the GLP-1 hormone is created in your gut naturally when your microbiome, fulvic acid, is healthy and your short chain fatty acids are doing their job. So this directly controls the liver fat metabolism, insulin sensitivity, and appetite regulation. This is your body's own built-in metabolic regulator, the GLP. No prescription required, no shots, no injections, but maybe some plant health would help strengthen this, right? So when your liver is burdened by toxins and all the metabolic waste and the chemicals and everything, that signal breaks down. And this is exactly why people with fatty liver disease so often struggle with the weight resistance and metabolic dysfunction. And at the same time, so it's not willpower problem, it's your terrain is kind of jacked up. It's not really growing anything healthy right now. And so this fulvic acid is going to come in. Fulvic is going to support that gut microbiome environment that drives that GLP-1 production, while at the same time reducing the oxidative stress that impairs the liver function. So beautiful little circle there, isn't it? And so published research on this confirms that HEPA-protected properties, including measurable reduction in liver enzyme elevations and oxidative damage markers. So you're supporting the whole system, not just chasing an individual symptom within your body. Fulvic's that's foundational. So there's that part for the GLP. Who's doing the GLP with us in May? I'm excited for that to come back around. I lost 45 pounds on that last year and now go to the gym and eat. I'm just in the best shape of my life. So selective chelation, here's why that matters, okay? So not all chelators are going to work the same way. And so understanding the difference helps you. So fulvic acid has that selective. It's going to go in, it's going to cherry pick. It's going to distinguish between the beneficial minerals and the toxic heavy metals. It knows the difference. It's that smart. It's going to deliver those trace minerals into the cells while binding and removing those toxins. It's not going to strip the body of essential nutrients. It's going to remineralize at the same time that it's detoxifying. Guys, if something works at the cellular level, what runs your body? It's the cells. And so you have to have something that feeds those cells that it's needing, and it's the minerals and the antioxidants and everything, the oxygen, the balance, and the pH. That's all so important. So indiscriminate binders, there's a lot of information out there right now on zeolite, that zeolite is causing all kinds of health issues. It is not safe. I do not promote zeolite. I will tell anybody that it is not good. It does create that cage-like structure behind everything, toxins and the beneficial minerals, and it can deplete the calcium, magnesium, zinc, and essential trace minerals within the body. There's no remineralization effect at all from that. It removes without restoring, and the particle size and contamination concerns with some of the sources must be completely taken away from food, medications, and long-term mineral depletion risk are involved with that. So zeolite's a big no, no, no. So here's how we use it. I already showed you how to make it. And so in the morning, you're going to have your first dose about an hour outside of medicine. I mean, that's just common sense. When you're taking supplements, you'd always take it 1 to 2 hours away from any supplements, no matter what it is. And you can do the drops right in the water. You can do the powder in the water, like I demonstrated at the beginning of the call. Make sure it's non-chlorinated water before it's food. And the stomach acid can interfere with the absorption at higher concentration. So we do 1/8 of a scoop. I always tell people, and for those of you that are sharing Fulvic, make sure that people that you share this with start out at half the serving size, because some people have never detoxed, or their detox pathways are so stagnant that they're going to end up with what's called a Herxheimer reaction, where someone is going to have flu-like symptoms, just feel punky and crappy and grumpy and tired and bloated. And we don't want that. Like, we want an easy introduction. We want it to be an enjoyable experience that truly heals that terrain. So you can drink it. One of my favorite ways, which is why I love the powder so much, is balneotherapy. I love to take a bath with it and add a teaspoon of the fulvic acid to a cup or two of Epsom flakes. And then whatever my essential oil is that my body is feeling like it's being called for. Maybe it's Detox for the liver support. Maybe it's L-Stimulate for the lymphatic support. Maybe it stops self-sabotage because I spent all day beating myself up for things that I did a year ago. You know, whatever that is, that fulvic is going to pull those toxins energetically even out of the system. And so for those of you that study energy, bioengineering energy, fulvic is going to raise the frequency and vibration at the cellular level also. And love is the highest frequency. And the more people we can get at a higher frequency, the better off this world is going to be. And so you can also do the fulvic with a cleanse protocol. We have this in several of our detox protocols here at the company. And during the cleanse or deep cleanse, parasite, liver, I would even add it on for your GLP. You just saw how important that was, and that will help work with your gut as well. And it's going to amplify the effects of the GLP reset or the liver cleanse that we're coming up next week. But either one of those, fulvic acid is going to increase the bioavailability of the good stuff in those products. Anyway, so consistency, here's what I want you to know. Terrain healing is not an overnight fix. You're not going to start taking these products and in 2 weeks, you're going to feel like you can go out and skydive and run a 5K. It takes a while to rebuild that terrain. You did not get this sick this fast, like in a day or two or a week or two or whatever you're wanting to feel better. Give me 90 days. Give us 90 days. You've got a lot of people that are sharing this video with you tonight that go to these classes that we host, that they study the ingredients, they study the products, and they know how good they are, and they're reaching out because they want you to feel better. And right, absolutely must stay consistent. It's going to take 90 days. And if you're doing the liver cleanse first before the GLP, I mean, if you're on that protocol with me, then that's 120 days. But I can promise you at the end of that, you're going to feel amazing, or you can get most of your money back. So now I am going to bring on, I wonder, is Tanya on here? She had plans tonight. Doesn't look like she made it. Okay, I have Courtney and Chelsea. Let me get Chels. So there we go. And Courtney, I am going to stop share just for a second and bring you on screen with me. And
I'm not really sure. Well, maybe you can sort of see me.
You are perfect. Okay, so I want to introduce you guys to Chelsea. Chelsea was with us in the last company that closed 2 days before Thanksgiving in 2021 and was a part of the team that brought fulvic acid to Heart and Body Naturals. So grateful that you were a part of that. As I said at the beginning of the call, Courtney is out feeding her ducks and chickens and wildlife and fighting bobcats and bears with her bare hands. So we're going to let her talk. I know I always say that. I mean, I don't want you to fight a bear with your bare hands, but that would be super cool.
Well, I haven't like fought them, but I do try to keep them out of my yard.
Yeah, absolutely. So you wanted to share about fulvic and what it has done for you. And again, thank you so much for getting off your chores just for a second. Thank your husband for allowing me to have you for a little bit.
Well, I got ducks around my feet. If we hear noises, they're like, hey, feed me. So in 2020, when the world went crazy, I didn't want to be sick, but I was not into jumping on some experimental bandwagon. So I had met Chelsea, but we didn't know each other real well. Like, we had seen each other at the beach a few times, and we talked a little bit about fulvic acid, and I looked into it. And for those who don't know, I own a very large bird farm, and I do not have time to be sick. So fulvic acid offered the immunity support that I was looking for naturally instead of whatever everybody else did. So eventually I tried it with the other company. So at first I just like, I did like the foot soaks and I saw the little worms that come out of your feet and was like, ew, that's disgusting. And so, but you were supposed to like do like the foot soaks first and then like a weekend, then start drinking it. So I did that. And the first day that I drank it, I I was working at somebody else's farm instead of my own. And we were baling or we were stacking hay, which is not an easy task in hot weather. So we stacked like 250 bales of hay in like a couple hours. And I didn't have like that crash from put like a workout. I was like ready to go, ready to do more things. So I was like, okay, like this is good. And then obviously the other company shut down. When I first joined HBN, it was just the black seed oil. So while we were waiting for the fulvic acid, black seed oil was like my backup. And like it doesn't give me the energy that fulvic does, but it does help. So I've been taking it for many years, obviously. I take it daily. I have gone like spurts where I don't take it and you can feel a huge difference. Like you're just like groggy and don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So 4 years now, I've kind of just been going with it. For those who don't know, I'm 43 years old. I'm not a young pup, but I do feel a lot better than I did at 30. At 30, like my body was like breaking down, but I didn't eat healthy. I didn't take supplements. I didn't do any of that stuff. So, I do a lot of like big workouts that would probably make people's muscles hurt. And sometimes they do, don't get me wrong, but it's not like I don't take Tylenol. I haven't taken Tylenol in like 10 years. If I do get those muscle aches, I use magnesium. But I feel like the fulvic acid and the black seed oil actually help with like the aches and pains that you feel as you get older. It definitely helps with brain fog. Like everybody my age is like, I have brain fog and like I can't remember anything. And, you know, like all that stuff that comes along with getting older and being a girl.
Yeah.
So I feel like fulvic helps in that department too. I know that as far as, sorry guys, but this is kind of TMI, but as far as my period, like it helped tremendously. I went from like terrible cramps to I barely feel it. Like it's okay. You just keep going.
How it's supposed to
And
be.
now I have a lot of friends that are my age that are like, oh, I have perimenopause symptoms. And I'm like, I don't have that. And I actually was like thinking about it the other night. Sorry, a car drove by. I was thinking about it the other night and I actually Googled it, and fulvic acid does like balancing out your hormones is one of the biggest things that you can do to help not feel all those nasty effects that getting older makes you feel.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
get your fulvic acid,
Get your
especially if you
fulvic
own a
acid.
bird farm, because I'm on my fourth winter of not being sick when people were like cursing bad things on me because I didn't go along with the rest of the
Yeah.
population.
I know. I had the same situation on my end with that pressure, peer pressure that didn't work for me.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Courtney, thank you so much for your time tonight. You can get back to your little critters now, but I just appreciate you, and I love that you are a part of that advanced team that came, and so grateful for the leadership here and the just everybody, you know, that just welcomed us, and it's so beautiful to see other people on other teams within the company that are sharing this just as passionately as we are. So anyway, thank you so much. I'm gonna go bring on my our dear Chelsea.
Chelsea.
And
All right.
add pin, and then I'll get you off of there, girl. Let's see, remove pin. All right.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello, you
Hi,
guys.
Tina.
This woman is absolutely amazing. She can break down an ingredient deck like nobody I've ever seen. If you ever question, does this have good ingredients in it? Chelsea's going to write an entire scientific paper on why it's dangerous and why you should avoid it. But Chelsea is my sponsor, and she was a part of the situation that happened before we came here. And she was the one that brought us to Heart and Biting Natural. So let's give Chelsea some love in the chat too, and Courtney if you didn't, and thank her for her time. But so Chelsea, you were a part of that tragedy a week before Thanksgiving, a couple days before Thanksgiving. And we spent weeks, like we looked at 12, 15 different companies. And it was like, nope, they've got that. And every time it was Chelsea that was like, nope, can't stand behind that ingredient deck. And these are companies that claim to be organic and all these wellness brands. And so it's really crazy to know how they get away with that. And Chelsea kept saying, well, come on, let's look at these products are so good. I've been a customer for 2 years. I've never really shared it. And like, we really need to come here. And we're like, we got to have Fulvic. And that was probably pretty stressful for you to kind of get that all together for us, wasn't it?
I guess a little bit. I had I had just found out that I was pregnant at the time too, so I was dealing with, just those new emotions. Actually, the day that the company closed is the day that I had found out that I was pregnant. So there was a lot of heaviness, at that time, so we were just trying to like Tina had said, find our home and find a place that we could trust.
Yeah.
So we've truly found that, with HBN, and it's just been an incredible journey for, I think, all of us. So
Yeah.
it's been great. So I actually just had my fifth baby boy who's on the call with us tonight. Um,
He's so cute, Chelsea.
so my kids are, range. I have five boys and a bonus daughter, and my kids range in age from 17 to newborn. So I've got 17, 14, 13, 8, 3, and newborn. So we have got a busy house. I'm a homeschool mom, and I obviously do this wonderful HBN business as well and try to educate on just everyday toxicity. So my passion has been health and wellness for a really long time. And I actually found out about Fulvic in about 2013 when Tina and I actually, a long time ago, were with a different business. And I learned about it from a doctor who has 8 doctorates, and he's just a wealth of knowledge. And he had told me about Fulvic. And I took it kind of with a grain of salt. I was like, well, that's really cool. But I didn't really, my life was crazy. I had 2 littles at the time. So I kind of just, went with it, thought that was great, but I didn't really do any research into it at the time. My health journey had, it had started, but I wasn't, I hadn't really deep dived into, you know, fulvic acid. So life went on. And then 2021, I saw somebody post about fulvic and a light went off in my head. And I was like, you know what? That is what the doctor had told me all those years ago. So I started doing my research at that point in time. And like Tina had said, I saw the post about the people doing foot baths and seeing the worms come out of their feet. And I was like, all right, I got to try this. So I bought it and, I started doing foot baths and I started taking it internally and I felt clarity. I felt my skin getting better. And within 6 weeks, we were taking pictures of our tongue, our face, our eyes, everything. And within 6 weeks, I had iridologists tell me that it looked like I had done a 6-month fruit fast with the way that my eyes had looked. So just the clarity in my eyes and the detox that my body was going through was incredible. So my third son at the time, he had an undiagnosed birth defect and not making any claims, but I had started giving it to him and he was vomiting 5 times a day. And within a couple days of him starting, the vomiting almost stopped. So it was restoring that electricity in his body, which he lacked. He had dysmotility of his esophagus. He had slow gastric emptying. He had a potential paralyzed vocal cord, and he had a secondary fistula in his esophagus and his trachea. So he was swallowing, he was born swallowing into his lungs. So he struggled a lot. And within him taking it for about 2 months, and I would put it into his tube feed bag because he was tube fed at the time. He could not eat by mouth. So, with less than 2 months after he started taking it, he had a swallow study, and the doctors were flabbergasted because all of the problems that they had told me he had, they no longer found. So, this is the only thing that I had put him on. And I'm not making any medical claims. I'm just sharing my wonderful testimony of my son. And for 4 years, he vomited every day for almost 5 times a day. And he's now 8 and he does not vomit anymore and he eats by mouth. So he was given the go ahead to eat by mouth that day. And he's been eating by mouth since. So it really has been an incredible thing for our family. And you know what? Sometimes you can see the difference and then, or feel the difference, but sometimes you can't, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not working, because it works behind the scenes in your body. So you can take the product, and some people are like, well, I didn't feel anything. It wasn't really doing anything for me. But it is, so it's working behind the scenes, and it's restoring your minerals, and it's alkalizing your body, and it's chelating the heavy metals. All that scientific data that Tina gave you, it's doing. So some people just don't feel it, and that's okay. But it doesn't mean that it's not
hard to
working.
feel a cell dying or
Right.
reproducing. You don't feel
Right.
that.
Right. But then there are the people that feel the energy and that, see the clarity in their skin and feel the brain fog lift, or see the clarity in their eyes, just the brightness come out. So, Fulvic, it truly is a tremendous product. And, I just want to throw it out there. I just had a new baby, and, I've been talking on this subject for a long time, but people don't know that babies are being born pre-polluted. So generational toxicity, we don't realize it, but we are giving the toxins that were in our body to our babies too. So, in their cord blood, they're being tested for over 200 chemicals. And then people don't realize too that they're putting, could be hundreds to thousands of chemicals on their body every day, whether it's personal care products, whether the food that they're eating, the chemicals in the food, or the chemicals that they're using to clean their home with. So we just need to make a more conscious decision to change, whether it's one or two things out at a time, couple things at a time, and replacing them with products that are safe and healthy for us and our family. But the biggest thing, if I had to choose one product that, it'd be my forever product, it truly is Fulvic. I use it every day, and it has just, it's changed my family's life. I've seen thousands. Tina can attest to this. Courtney can attest to this. We've literally seen thousands of lives changed because of this product.
Yeah.
So it truly is our passion. It's why we brought it to this company, because it truly is a miracle. It's just this molecule, it's a powerhouse, and it does, umpteen things, that obviously black seed oil, but we can't say it enough. So,
Right.
I just wanted to share, that quickly is just, be more conscientious of what we are putting in and on our bodies. And, we got to care for ourselves and our family.
Absolutely. And one thing that keeps popping up in the messages
Yeah.
is, can expectant moms take this?
Absolutely. So yes, you can. It's great. I take it as my prenatal, amongst other things as well. I do, and it's also great for nursing. It can help increase your milk production as well. So thankfully, I've never had a problem with my milk production. I've always kind of been an overproducer, and black seed oil is great for second trimester on, and it is great for nursing as well. So. I know some people, it's kind of a questionable thing during pregnancy, but it's truly great for postpartum as well. And it helps with milk production too.
Right. Well, when the baby's growing, it's taking all your minerals and things to grow its own
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
the fulvic is, and prenatal vitamins that the doctors give are just trash for the most part,
Yes.
anyway, with
Yeah.
fillers and stuff. And so this is the purest form of minerals. I mean, our bones are all minerals, right? And so that's, you're giving it that foundation. And
Yep.
I think if anything, every pregnant mother should be on this with their doctor's permission. I mean, I have to throw that out legally, but
Sure.
you know, we take our health into our own hands. Chelsea, thank you so much for
Thank you, Tina.
being persistent, for going to bat for this team, for leading the charge, and being that light that found us our home. Like I get approached all the time asking for like a brand partnership of something. I'm like, you nothing on the market can compare. Everything that you need for your health is within this product line. Everything is designed for that root cause, and it is always people over profits, as you can tell by the stellar pricing packages and stuff that we get. So anyway, Chelsea, thank you so
Absolutely.
much for your time. I love you so much. And
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to go back to that screen share and wrap this up real quick. I just want to give a shout out real quick to the other two ladies. Oops, let me get that off the screen. On the call that could not be here tonight. They've got some different things going on in their life. Megan, right in the middle there. A lot of you recognize her. She is always in the top 10 for sales for this company. She's got such an amazing following. And then Tanya's story, there's an entire video that I did on the Diva call with Tanya. Tanya went from being bedridden from a collapsed pelvic and a lot of other different health issues to walking 5,000 or 5,000, was it 10,000 steps a day. So from bedridden, couldn't get down the stairs without assistance, to walking 10,000 steps a day because she added the fulvic acid. It's not a medical claim. Tanya can share that with herself. And since she wasn't able to show up this evening, I am going to have to do another call with just Tanya then maybe, I don't know, but these are the ladies that found themselves homeless and searched for, I don't know, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that, constantly looking at companies on where we could call home, where we can find a product line that we felt comfortable offering it to you to help your own health journey. And we just continue to grow and grow. And it's just been such an amazing experience with leadership and the products. So right here, take a screenshot. If you're doing the cleanse, share this on your social media. We are so excited. Our first cleanse of the year starts next on the 22nd Earth Day, which is actually our 4-year anniversary. But the liver cleanse is amazing. If you have not ordered yet, you can probably get your order in tomorrow to be able to do this with you. I will leave these in the testimony group, the detox group, and tell you exactly what to do. Please don't worry that it's a harsh detox. It's going to leave you in bed. It's very, very, very gentle, but extremely effective. And Jess, let me know who invited you and I'll get that sent to them. So the free product, okay, let me just tell you a little bit here too. And I don't know, I did do a slide for this. So I'll get to that. Vitality is the free product. So let's just assume you get the liver cleanse. You're going to get this is going to become free. It's going to be included automatically in your packaging as a thank you gift for trusting us with your health. So you're going to have 2 of my favorite teas that will be available directly after this. If you're interested, Coach Marcus is going to be talking about the business opportunity. I'm trying to hurry to get you to that call because, where's the other slide? I didn't have it up there. So the black seed oil comes free this month with the purchase of any fulvic acid, liquid or powder. The shipping department will add it directly in. Just go to your website, order the fulvic, get that in your body. Because if tonight's class did not convince you that this is something that you cannot live without, then we need message me and I will convince you. Anyway, thanks so much for being on tonight. I love you guys. We will see you next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about the GLP that's going to be coming up. I think that's what we're doing. We might do liver cleanse. I don't know. I got to look at my schedule. Anyway, I appreciate you. We're here every Thursday night at 7:00 Central at coffeetalkwithtina.com. Much love. Have a great weekend.